Salesi Moa about to make his commitment in next year's class as well. The four-star athlete plays wide receiver and safety at Fremont High School in Utah. The Utes, one of his 5 finalists, along with Michigan, Michigan State, Tennessee, and Washington. Brandon Huffman is in our 24/7 Sports studios. He is our national recruiting editor. What does he do best? Because whenever you talk about somebody like this, the first thing that comes to mind is Travis Hunter, who did both in college and might do both in the NFL as well. So which side of the ball do you think he belongs on?
Yeah, I mean, I think his best skill set is actually at the receiver position. He went down to the prestigious Justin Jefferson camp this summer with some of the top receivers in the country. He's an elite pass catcher, elite playmaker with the ball in his hands, but he does have that defensive ability. So a lot of coaches have had their lives made difficult because Travis Hunter did it at such an easy level in college. Now a lot of schools have to recruit players as such, but I think his best position is receiver.
All right, and I know you are in contact with him. You can take us away and send it out to Utah.
All right. Well, we head out to Utah, the Tip Top Athletes studio, and it's a training facility where we're joined by Celesi, who is the #1 player in the state of Utah. Celesi, thanks for joining us here today on CBS Sports.
Thanks for having me.
All right. We know it's been a long process. Yeah, real quick, Celesi, I know it's been a long process. You've been through the recruiting process for a couple of years, but today you decided to do it at your dad's facility. Who do you all have there? Who's joining us as you get ready to make this announcement?
All my friends and family are here right now. Yes, sir. First and foremost, I want to thank my Heavenly Father for putting me in this position to play football at the next level and for always blessing me with opportunities throughout my life. I'd like to show appreciation to all the coaches that have recruited me until this point. Appreciate you guys. Mom, I want to take this time to say thank you for helping me in every aspect of my life, and I'd like to thank my mom and dad for always supporting me in everything I do, always being there for me, and every step of the journey being there with me. I'd like to thank my Uncle Nate for always being there for me, and ever since I was 5 years old, training me. Uncle Nate called my dad, and he told him that he got the head coaching job at Fremont. And that's when I knew I had to go over to Fremont and go play for Coach Nate and my cousins and help build Fremont's legacy. I'd like to thank my brothers, Marky, Shauna, and Ice, for always believing in me that I could play anywhere in the world and for always pushing me to be great. I'd like to thank Tio, Trey, and Pulu for helping me with my journey. And I'll always remember 7-on-7 tournament with Pink Outlaws. And I also like to thank Ross Hoppo, my wide receiver trainer. Thanks for always training me. That being said, I'd like to take my talents to University of Tennessee.
All right, there it is. Josh Heupel goes back to the state where he started his collegiate career to land the #1 player in the state in Salesi Moa. You know, Celesi, you had all kinds of schools all over the country, Big 10, Big 12, ACC, and SEC, but you're ultimately deciding to play in the SEC. What was it about Tennessee that made them a pick for you?
Just ever since I was younger, I seen Tennessee as a big stage, like Alabama, all that. I wanted to play there, and I knew I could play there, so I wanted to take the opportunity. I wasn't going to let the opportunity slip away from me, so I wanted to take the opportunity. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, there you have it. Celelesi Moa, the #1 player in the state of Utah, headed to the University of Tennessee. A big win for Josh Heupel. Celesi and your family, thanks for joining us. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, we go back to Chris in the studios.
Yeah, Brandon, want to update our rankings right now in the class of 26. Tennessee was 12. This 4-star commitment from Salesi Moa moves them from 12 into the top 10 at number 9. So I want to ask you, because it's kind of been a tumultuous offseason for Tennessee. You had the Nico Iamaleava situation. You've got the Boo situation right now with their star defensive player missing some time. What kind of a get is this for Josh Heupel and the Vols?
Oh, it's a big one because of what he brings positionally, the fact that he could play receiver, he could play safety at an elite level. Again, we're not saying that he's going to be the next Travis Hunter, but if there's somebody in this class that could really do each side of the ball at an elite level, it is Celesi. We've seen him for the last couple of years shine on the 7-on-7 circuit on both sides of the ball. But he'll be playing receiver to start out at Tennessee. Josh Heupel did tell him there'll be some defensive packages there. But to get a player of his positional versatility from a state like Utah, which has been cranking out some top talent in recent years, that's a big win for Josh Heupel, especially beating some of the schools that they did head-to-head.
All right, playing wide receiver and safety in high school and likely more wide receiver in college. We did have another big commitment today, right ahead of Tennessee in the rankings is Oregon. They get a 4-star pass rusher in Tank Jones. What did you make of that?
I mean, that's a big pickup for them. That's their 5th top 50 player in the 2026 class. For a lot of people that were kind of bemoaning the early struggles that Dan Lanning had, where he lost a couple of his early commitments to other schools, they are really having a fantastic July. Really started at the end of June, but then on the last day of July, they get one of the premier pass rushers in the country to go along with some stellar players in the secondary like Jet Washington. But Tank Jones, getting that as a pickup is huge for them, moving them back into the top 10, where I expect them to stay for the rest of the 2026 class. But another player that they've been able to show they can get outside of the West region and really recruit nationally and continue to be the brand that Dan Lanning has really been trying to make them and pick up where the predecessors there at Oregon left off.
Brandon Huffman, our national recruiting editor for 24/7 Sports, on a big day of recruiting with a couple of teams in Oregon and Tennessee getting 4 stars and moving into the top 10. 24/7 Sports, your place for recruiting rankings, wall-to-wall team coverage, transfer portal updates, and rankings as well. Check out the up-to-date rankings in your favorite sport.